Hello everybody, Gisele Grenier here. We're on the last pumpkin. Okay, I love doing all these pumpkins, especially for the kids, so kids can do the projects. But this one here, I'm going to make this one, well, the kids can still do it, but I think maybe mom and dad or grandma, grandpa, or big brother, sister, or any grown-up can jump in. So what I was going to do with this was I was going to make a formal Day of the Dead stencil on this. Whether it was this one or this one. But after doing a little bit of practicing, it was just, especially with this delicate pattern, there's no way I would have been able to do that. And same with this one, it's just no way. So instead, I'm going to paint a haunted house. Alrighty, so same, prep, wash, soapy water, rinse, air dry, wet sand, rinse again, rubbing alcohol. This one here, I don't know what where the farm where these are. The wax on this, it's like, I swear it's like 1/4 of an inch thick. You can see where the gesso had just some parts it just wouldn't stick on. But you know what? These are for one use only, so I'm not going to worry. First thing I want to do is figure out where I want the front of the piece to be. So I'm just going to lay this in front of me. And I'm thinking it's going to be this one here, where it's relatively flat. So I think I want to keep that as my front. Okay. See, look, see it peeled off already. So what I'm going to be using for this is, let me bring these out. Oh, put you over there. All right, so Decor Media Fluid Acrylics. I'm going to be making my teal with phthalo blue, phthalo green blue, titanium white. That does not change. And then the house itself, I'm going to be painting with carbon black. The windows will be done with a mixture of Hansa Yellow Medium and Pyrrole Orange. I'm also going to add some one-step crackle to parts of it to make look like the pumpkin's crackling. Then if I can find my antiquing medium, I'm going to antique some darker cracks in there if I can find it. And then depending if it's going to rain, then I'll just put the pumpkin out the day of. Otherwise, I'll be able to varnish it with the varnish, so it'll be all right. Okay, and then gesso. This is 3 coats on some parts, but you know what? Let's just work with what we have. I'm going to get my brush, and I'm just going to mix this together. Yeah, that's a nice color right there. And we're just going to paint the pumpkin. This is more of a turquoise. I just wanted something a little bit different. Although I love the idea of the Teal Pumpkin Project. Doing all the videos at once this close to Halloween was, I was starting to see nothing but teal. And teal is a color I used to hate, but I love it. Love it now. And again, with this one here, I'm going to go as far as I can to the bottom, but not go all the way underneath, because this one's going to be set in black gauze. All the videos are being done at once, and they're all going to be published the same day. That way you can see the whole progression and see them actually all assembled. I was going to try to do one as a paint pour, but no. I want to make these pieces simple enough for anyone. Whoa, that's going to fall off the paper. Simple enough for anyone to do without having any special supplies. Now the gauze I'm going to be using to set all the pumpkins in, I picked up at the dollar store, and I got a massive amount. But you can use a bed sheet. If you have an old bed sheet, or not a bed sheet, a pillowcase. Pillowcase is fine. There we go. I think we're going to be okay with this. Now, while the where's my front? While the paint is wet, where's my front? You know what? That's going to be my front because I can't find it. I'm going to take some of the darker blue. And I'm just going to paint a little bit of a darker surrounding area. wet on wet. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add a touch of black. I know I don't like using this 1 drop, 2 drops. I don't like doing that because it gets muddy. Yeah, like that. As long as the pumpkin still looks like it's teal, primarily teal, it's fine. I wish you could see what I'm doing here from the side. All I'm doing is I'm creating that a vignette look. Feathering that. You'll see when it's dry though. As long as it's blended, you'll be fine. I can't see. All right, so this is gonna, now because I'm using the fluid acrylics, this will try and, oh my goodness. This one here, maybe about a half an hour, because it's a fluid acrylics. But yeah. What I'll do though is if the vignette's not strong enough, I'll come back with a bit of a lighter color in the middle. Don't want to make it too light because I have the house to paint. I want really, really good contrast. Actually, let's do that right now. While it's wet, that's the easiest. I'm going to wipe out some of the paint and go right in. Where's my front? Right here. Just getting that in there. Now when I paint the moon's going to go right about here, but I'm going to wait for this to dry. So there's going to be a house, the moon over here, then a tree coming right into the moon. And if I can get small enough, I'll even paint a kitty cat in the tree. All right, so I know you couldn't really see anything. I'll let this dry, then I'll be able to flip up the pumpkin so you can see what I've done. All right, so the pumpkin's all dry. Then I took some time to sketch out some random design here. I've got a big moon, which I created with a little cup like this. Some headstones here and here, little tree. What looks supposed to be a cat up in here. Just with I just used a Stabilo black pastel pencil and some wonky house. And you can get a lot of these images on the internet. Just look up Halloween stencils and you can get stuff like this. So that's about it. And I'm just going to basically paint it. So the really cool thing about this is that there's not a lot of colors to use. The windows are going to be an orange yellow. The moon's going to be yellow. Everything else is going to be black. Now what I would like to do, I don't know if I'll be able to, is right here where all the groundwork is to start it off and then have it drip down. But the way this is going to be nestled into the black gauze, I don't know if it's going to show. All right, so we start off. I'm going to take a little bit of yellow and orange. Now these are transparent, so they're going to likely take a couple of layers. And I'm going to paint right over that. It is picking up a little bit of the charcoal, which is fine. The good thing about using the fluid acrylics, they don't take very long to dry. Okay, well that's easy peasy so far. And now I'm just going to take some yellow. I'll take a little bit of white to get that started. And let's just paint that moon. Now because the yellow is transparent, it's going to turn green. I added a little bit of white to make some opacity in there. And then once all the paint is dried, you can turn around and erase all the charcoal or pastel lines just with a damp cloth. Just make sure you don't varnish first. And I nestled the pumpkin into bubble wrap to hold it up. I don't know if you're able to see what I'm doing here. And Joe just, before I turned the camera on, he said the forecast for Halloween, 90% chance of rain. So I don't know if we're going to get any kids. Well, this was fun anyways. I kind of like that the way. Now in the camera I think it looks green, but here it looks yellow. But I like how all the different texture is happening here. It actually looks like the moon. Can't see the man in the moon though. All right, takes care of that. And I'm just going to raise my brush. Let's get started with some of the black pieces. So I'm just going to continue on painting. You don't have to sit here and listen to me. I'm going to just continue on painting. I'm going to rotate between flat brushes and round brushes. So other than what I've already painted, everything else is black. Okay, this painting stuff this small is hard, but you know it's you don't need to make these perfect. And you know where else I thought you can get some inspiration? Candy packaging. That'd be really cool. So I'm going to get the Decor Medium Mister, the carbon black, and see if this works. I'm not going to spray it because it makes a terrible mess. So I'm just going to put that on here. You could do the same thing with just paint and add a bit of water to it. Use the fluid acrylics, but just add a bit more water. The thing is, if you add too much water, it gets really transparent. This stuff is already made for misting. I'm going to have to tilt this. You're probably not going to see it initially. Let me just get this on here, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so I've got that on there. So I put that, now see how it's starting to drip? Now I'm just going to put a little bit of water. how it's dripping? Like that. You can kind of guide it. Having those little eyedroppers would have been good as well. You can use a paintbrush to drip it. If you use a paintbrush, get something big. Oh my goodness. Get something big. You can get some really good dripping. I have to hold this to let gravity do its job. Yeah, I still have to add a little bit of water to this. There we go. Hey. All right, so now I'm going to let this dry. And I'm going to let it dry for a few hours before I erase the lines. Well, that's, come on. Stay. And then I'm going to varnish it. But mind you, if we're going to get all that rain, it may not even matter anymore. But that's about it. So I hope that you enjoyed this. And from here, I mean, this is a really simple one. I want to make it simple for kids. Just making some lines. I put a little bit of highlight from the moon. You know, if you really want to push this, you can put lines in the windows for the window panes. Let's get a really thin brush with a... This is where some of the kids have a little bit of trouble. Wait for your pumpkin to be dry though, and just dot using the edge of the brush and just put little lines. You don't have to. Oh, I got it started. I might as well finish it. The bigger windows are easier to do. Don't make them too dark though, because they're far off in the distance. Now you won't be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, so stuff like that. Okay, and just like blocks. So you're creating like blocks and triangles and stuff like that. Don't forget to put some, maybe a roof or even a tree over the moon to make it, you know, really stand out. But see how it's all dripping. Here we go. Alrighty, so I hope that you enjoyed this Teal Pumpkin project and that you give them a try. And don't forget to post pictures in the community of what you've done if you celebrate Halloween. If not, if you have any seasonal art, don't forget to post it there. We all love seeing stuff like this. And I'm going to varnish this in a few hours, put everything out, take some pictures, and I am finished for Halloween 2018. So thank you so much for staying with me for the 7 Teal Pumpkin Project designs, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, stay inspired.